REMARKETER, empowering realtors.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining me today. So, what I'm going to be covering today is a little bit of basics and core steps in managing, getting your CRM rolling and then managing your CRM effectively. There's a lot that goes into this topic. It's a big topic. It's a big part of your package, and it's an important part of your package. And a super important part of your business in order to be able to effectively manage uh, your CRM. So CRM, as you know, stands for client or customer relationship management. And I always start by emphasizing on the R in CRM. It's managing relationships. There's a little bit of an automation into it. Obviously, we want to make things a little bit simple. There is a little bit of um, uh, strategy applied into the system, but mainly it's there to enable you uh, to to manage relationships. So it comes hand in hand with other tools available in Remarketer, which provide you with the content. The content should be relevant to the needs and requirements and expectations of your clients or leads. And the tools provided here make it easy for you to share those content, create and share those content with your um, prospects. Uh, Hence managing the relationship with your prospects. So that's the important part of this, the important and core function of what we're talking about today. But mainly, I will focus on the basics, show you how to get started, how to import your contacts, how to uh, configure everything properly, so then you can start rolling out your strategies as they are. All right. So let's go ahead and check things out together. Obviously, the point where we start our conversation is going to be in Contact Manager. That's our main tab here, where we would be uh, managing your contacts and um, applying the strategies that you wish to apply. There are other tools here like the news and blogs, newsletters, content GPT, graphics, etc. So these are all the tools that enable you to generate the content that you wish to create. But mainly in Contact Manager, that's where you are managing your contacts, your prospects. That's where you are categorizing them and maintaining the list of your contacts, the database, where as some of you would like to call it. All right. So let's begin with the first context here. To adjust my screen so that it fits perfectly. There we go. All right. So first things first. When you want to start using Remarketer, now, in my case, I already have some contacts available, but you might want to import your contacts into the system. So I'll show you how to import your contacts into the system, and then from then on, we're going to be able to check things out even further. All right. So here's what we will be uh, doing. Um, First thing is you go to Contact Manager, and then under tools, you will see that you have a CSV import. So that's how you can import contact list into your contact manager. CSV is a comma separated values file. It's a format of spreadsheets, and you need to save. Well, basically, you need to export your contacts from various areas that you've been carrying them into a CSV file. It's a spreadsheet, like Excel. All you need to do is to save it and change the format that you save it to CSV. So that's basically what you need to do. Once you have that file available, which is just a spreadsheet with your contact information, all you would need to do is come here, click on Tools, click on CSV Import, and then drag and drop your file into this box, as I will demonstrate to you now. So I have a dummy set of contacts. It's 50 contacts that I have just prepared here. As soon as I drag and drop uh, the file onto the system, you can see that the system uh, picks up the columns that are available in my CSV file. Now, it's important for you to make sure that the first row on your CSV file, as I have here, includes the type of that information. So for instance, here it mentions first name. So these are all the first names. And then we have last name. These are all the last names. Then I have the emails, the address, the communication notes, the phones, etc. So, you can have as many columns here as there would be. Rule of thumb, and I will repeat this a few times during our conversation, don't overcomplicate uh, your contacts database. You need to be able to stick to the basics. The most important thing is means of communication, and email is the most important channel of communication. Make sure you have valid emails for all of the contacts that you want to import here. If you don't have email addresses for your contacts, it's still good to have that contact information, but it's basically probably just 10% good enough, because you can't really continuously stay in touch with that person unless you have an email address from that person. So that's a very important piece of information, and it's always encouraged that no matter where and how you get to meet people, always try to get their email address. It's usually a phone number is usually what's exchanged when you meet people. It's amazing. Get the phone number, but email addresses are crucial because you want something to be able to communicate continuously with and share information through. And you can't keep calling people or sending text messages to people with that regard. Emails are the best method of communication. They've been there for years and years and years. Everybody has email addresses. Everybody uses email these days. And it's not as intrusive as a phone call or a text message. It's a lot more casual. You can send content, and the user is going to be able to engage with those with the content that you share um, when it's convenient. So that's important for you to remember. Emails are important. I may have addresses for some of them. I can import the addresses there. These are notes, for instance. So this is just a set of dummy information. Phone numbers, for example, I have phone numbers for some people. Some of them I don't have phone numbers. That's fine. I can go ahead and import the contacts into the system anyway. Now, once I drag and drop the content, I can view it. It basically visualizes the CSV file that I have, and I can view the columns that I have. Now, next, I need to match the columns. So here, I'm going to select the fields that are available in Remarketer and match each one of these uh, each one of these columns to that specific field. So the first column, which is first name here, is going to be mapped to first name. So I have another first name, which is the field that's available in the remarketer system. So put all the first names into this field, put all the last names into this field, last name. Then we have email, which is called email address in our case. So I'll just select these from the drop down file that I have. Then I have address. I can go ahead and use that for uh, there. We have another called well field called address here, which we can then communication notes. So let's see what we have for that. That's called. I'm just going through the list. Um, Title, last name, email, cell, address. Oh, there we go. Client notes. So it's called client notes. So I can import the notes over to the client notes. And then we have a phone, which is there, cell phone number. Now, there's a lot more that you could select. Letter salutation, envelope salutation, work address, job title, date of birth. You've got year of birth, month of birth, day of birth. So these are separately available as well. Business name, quality of relationship, if you have those. Um, Maintain for your contacts, for instance, categories, source name, spouse name, tags as well. So you can create you can transfer a lot of content into the system depending on what you have available to be imported anyways. All right, so once I have mapped all my columns, so I've matched the columns with the appropriate fields, and then I simply click import, and there it is. You get a report here. 50 contacts are successfully imported. Now, you don't get such clean contacts every time. Sometimes there are contacts with content that are not proper. So, for instance, one of the email addresses might have, you might have forgotten to put the at sign in there, for example. So there could be problems with the content there. So that wouldn't be an email address, or you might have text instead of the phone number. So there could be some areas where there are discrepancies and the system wouldn't be able to import the contacts for you. You would get the list of contacts that haven't been imported right under here, where you would be able to go ahead and check them out, correct whatever needs to be corrected, and then re-import them again. Sometimes there are also duplicates. And duplicates are measured by comparing email addresses. So that's the only thing that the system would know for sure that is a duplicate if you have the same email address for two contacts. So that's one important factor to remember as well. Let me just quickly point this out for you while we're on the subject. A lot of you might have um, information from couples available in your database. So let's say a husband and a wife. Now, it's two separate ways to approach this concept in CRM. Either you are communicating with one of the two spouses. So, for example, your line of communication is with the husband or the wife, and you only carry the information about the spouse just as extra information. So you also want to know the name and information of your client's spouse. So you're not communicating with both of them separately. So this would be one instance. In that instance, you would carry one contact, your main point of contact, which is, let's say, for instance, in this example, the husband, and then you have the information added to that contact, which I will show you a little bit later as well. Now, if you want to communicate with both of them separately, you should have two separate email addresses. You can't have one email address, which obviously goes to one person, and then send the same content twice, once addressed to one partner and another time addressed to the other partner. You're sending it to the same email address. So you should really respect that. If you want to communicate with both partners separately, get their email addresses separately. So in the example that I was just mentioning, if you have duplicates, if the case is that you have the same email address for a husband and a wife, for instance, you need to correct that. Either if either just import one contact and then add the information to the of the other spouse to that same contact, or use two separate email addresses. So I just wanted to point that out and show that. All right. So we have 50 contacts successfully imported and ready to go. So now I have my contacts available here. Obviously, I had some contacts from before. Now I have 50 more. So I used to have 990 something. Now I have 1,043. So I've got 50 more contacts added to my contact manager. Now, you see here we've got the entry date. You can sort by full name, you can sort by email, you can sort by any one of these categories right here. I'm going to click on entry date. All right. So descending or ascending. So now I changed it to descending. Now these are the contacts that we have imported today. So you can see the entry date right there. So that's the date that the contact has been imported into the system. So these are the 50 contacts that I have added to the system today. All right. So that's step one, importing contacts into your system. Step two is basically um, cleaning up uh, the contact list. All right. So one of the things that's important for you to do when you import your contact list here is to categorize your contacts. Now, categorizing contacts is done for one main purpose, and that is relevant communication. Right. So you want to be able to be relevant when you're communicating with different clients of yours. Now, the ultimate relevancy, I'm sorry, is when you communicate with each and every one of them individually. That would be amazing in a perfect world, but it's not possible when you have thousands of contacts, even hundreds or even dozens of contacts. You can't really prepare individual content for every contact of yours. It is going to be quite difficult. Therefore, we need to be able to communicate the same content to more than one contact in your contact list. Now, what most of the people do is that you just generate one set of contact, let's say one newsletter, and you send it to everyone. That's okay, but it's not perfect, right? So a better approach and a better strategy would be for you to be able to align the general content that you're creating to the needs of your individual contacts. Now, because it's hard to cater that to every single one of them, what we do is that we categorize, right? So we categorize base based on the expectations and the needs and the requirements of the context. That's I wanted to get to this point to for you to understand what is the best way to categorize your contacts. So I'll give you a few examples here for you to be able to understand what would be a good strategy for categorization. So, for example, you want to be sending out um, 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 postcards using the greeting cards module that we have right here. One of the things that you want to make sure is that, for example, if you're sending out Merry Christmas emails to people, you want to include only people who celebrate Christmas, for instance. If, let's say, you want to send out a Happy Hanukkah to some of to your clients, so you want to make sure that you're going to send out the Happy Hanukkah to the people who are celebrating that occasion, and the Merry Christmas to the people who are celebrating that occasion. So if you want to be specific and you want to cater to their expectations, you can categorize your contacts based on, let's say, religion. You can categorize your contact based on ethnicity. So, for example, if you want to send out a happy Chinese New Year, you would send it out to the people who do celebrate the Chinese New Year, for example. So that's one layer. So that's one example for you that you can start categorizing your contacts based on the um, the demographics of your contacts in order to be able to send them relevant information. Other than that, we have let's say contacts in my database who are my past clients. These are very different. The type of communication that I have with my past clients are very different than the type of communication that I do with, let's say, prospects, right, or leads. Is very different. There I'm trying to persuade them to do business with me, while my past clients don't need persuasion, and they've already done business with me. They already know who I am, and they already uh, will do business with me again. Probably if they come to a point that they need to, let's say, sell their property or upgrade or downsize or whatever, right? So again, you can start categorizing relationship with them as well, a past client, a lead, a prospect. So these are all very different. So I'm going to show you those categorizations in there as well. And then there are more things. So, for example, you might have a set of contacts in here who are contractors, right, or builders, or other realtors. So these are all uh, means of categorization that you can apply to your database so that you will be able um, to communicate with them uh, accordingly, right? All right. So when I prepare a newsletter um, that is destined for my clients in, let's say, my past clients in Richmond Hill, I may want to categorize those contacts as Richmond Hill so that I know that, if this is designed for Richmond Hill clients, it's going to go only to them. And it's not going to go, to one of my clients who doesn't even live in Richmond Hill. It would be irrelevant if I have prepared that sort of a content. So that's basically what I wanted to you to in strategy. Now, again, we have another rule of thumb here. It's important. Don't overdo your categorization as well. If you over categorize, you're getting closer and closer to those individual contacts, which is going to be unmanageable. So that will only make it harder for you to manage your communication relatively. So really stick to the basics, and make sure that firstly you don't over categorize so it's too difficult to communicate, and then uh, also consider what kind of communication pieces do you want to prepare and send to them. See your capability as well. Are you going to be preparing um, uh, neighborhood specific newsletters down the road or not? If you're not, then you might not require to categorize your contacts based on neighborhood residency, for example. Are you going to be sending out, um, uh, I don't know, certain holidays, greetings or not? If you do, then that's something to consider for categorization. If you don't, so on and so forth. So that's important. Look at yourself, see what capabilities you have, what strategy you want to put in place, and how much time and effort are you going to, really pay into that, and then categorize your contacts accordingly. All right. So before doing anything, let's go ahead and check out one of the contacts. So one of the things that we have here is this blue button right here. We call this the action button. So there are actions underneath these buttons. One of them is view profile. The other one is edit. Then you can tag. That's the categorization. So that's one layer of categorization that we can add. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. And then we have an unsubscribe option as well. So you can unsubscribe them from your email communication manually if you wish to do so, even though they have the option to unsubscribe themselves as well. All right. So I'm going to click on edit first, and this is going to pull up the edit pane for my contact. There are several tabs here on the left, um, and then we have certain content here on the right. Now, depending on the tier of your subscription, you might have items here now. So, for example, this would be an item that would be available to Teams packages, call and text or an add-on service, which you can view under add-ons over here. Tasks are usually available, so it could be a little bit different depending on uh, the subscription tier that you have with Remarketer. All right, so the first tab here is the tasks. That's where you can manage your tasks, which we will come back to. Then we have the profile. So this is basically where you keep the profile of the contact. So, for instance, here we can add extra content. So, for instance, if you find out Rafaela's birthday, you can go ahead and update the birth date over here. You've got the contact info, email address, cell phone number. Let's say you also have their home number. You can add that in there, their office number. Their address can be added over here. The business info, business name, business type, job title. So all of that information can be added over here. Now, next section that I want you to take a look into is the categories section. So this is the first tier of categorization where you can manage your contacts and make sure that you have the right content. So firstly, you can categorize based on them being a buyer or a seller. So this person can be a buyer lead and you can mark them as a buyer. Or it could be a seller lead and you can mark them as a seller. Or it could be a past client who could be categorized as a buyer as well as a seller. So it really depends on what you want to do. So this is one layer of categorization that you can do here. Then we have the general categories over here. So either the contact is just a general contact, or is a lead, so someone you haven't really qualified yet. A prospect, which is again a lead, but a little bit of a warmer lead. You might have been able to qualify the lead a little bit, and they become a prospect. That is the prospect of you doing business with them. That person could be a client. It could be part of your sphere of influence. So SOI stands for sphere of influence. So someone you know who can bring you business, for example, a past client or another agent. So these are the general categories that are available that you could select. So for instance, this could be a past client of mine. Then we have the source. Where did you get this contact from? So again, this could help you measure your lead generation or networking efficiency. So, was this a manually added contact, an online source through ads, through Facebook ad, more specifically, through Google ad, if you want to be more specific, through an Instagram ad, directly through social media, referral, networking, door knocking, cold calling, open house, websites, app, etc. So, there are many, many different sources that you could select here. So let's say in this case, I got to know Rafaela. through networking. So let's say I met them in a party, right? Then you can also configure the quality of relationship. That's basically some of you practice this. So it's based on referrals and how many referrals have been provided to you by this person. So you can configure uh, the quality of relationship as well. Now, the next part is tags. Let's say I want to, um, add further categorization to my system as well, to this contact as well. So here I can click on Add Tag, and firstly, I would have the list of all my previously added tags available here. So once you add a tag, and this tag could be anything, right? Um, you can also, well, once you add a tag, it's going to be saved and available to you in this list. Or you could, just go ahead and type in a new tag. So let's say this person plays golf, and I have some content, relevant to golf. And let's say, for instance, I promote properties that are listed close to golf courses, and I have many of these type of contacts, right? It's not just this person. I have a lot of contacts in my contact list that are, golf enthusiasts, and it would be a good idea for me to keep in touch with them with that specific tag. So I just wanted to show you that it could be pretty much anything, right? And you can add other tags here as well. So, for example, Chinese is another one, so that I can remember that this person's got Chinese heritage, so I can send out things like the Happy Chinese New Year, for example, to this person. So there are many. Well, you can add many tags to that contact as well, and then finally notes. If you want to add any notes, you can add the notes to the contact as well, and then finally you can just uh, save the contact. Now, if I go back to the contact manager, you can see the tags that I added are reflected here under the tags tab right here. Okay, now there's more that I want to show you in the edit pane, but before that, I want to show you something else here as well. Let's say I want to tag many of these contacts at the same time, or I would like to categorize many of these contacts at the same time. So I can do that here as well. So what I would do here is I would select the ones that I want to modify. So let's say I want to tag these guys. So these are the contacts in my contact list that play golf, right? And these are the ones that I would like to tag golf. One way is to just edit each one of them and tag them. Or what you can do is that you can just select them and then go to bulk actions. And then here you can have the same actions in bulk. So I'm going to tag and select golf here. And now I'm going to tag all of them at once. So this makes it a lot easier, right? Now, let's say I want to select a few of these, let's say these three contacts of mine, and then I will go to bulk action again, and I would like to change the category there. So here, let's say these people are part of my sphere of influence. So I can select the categories that I showed you in the edit pane right here as well, and I can configure that as well. So if I go here and edit this contact here and um, go to profile, you can see that the sphere of influence has already been configured here. So you can do all of these uh, at once with the bulk actions here as well. So I can also change the subcategory, whether there's a seller or a buyer. So let's say these guys are all buyers. I'm going to uh, add that, and there it is, category successfully set. So I have that information now available here. So buyer is set to yes, and SOI, I configured it. So it's very easy for you to categorize your contacts after you've imported your contacts. And really now, if you prepare a content, let's say you have a property that's listed right next to a golf course, and you want to send that property over to the people who are interested in golf. Now you know who to send it to. You could just simply send it to the people who have been tagged as golf. I'll just quickly show you how that can. This is share to select email over here. And this is the list of all of my contacts. So all of my contacts are here. But I want to send it out to those people who play golf. What do? I just search for not gold, but golf. And there it is. All of the ones that have the tag golf are now selected. So I can now select these guys and send the content to these people. That's how you can communicate relevant content to relevant people. And that's, the golden rule of CRM, relevance in communication. All right. So let's go back to this contact of ours and click edit. I'll show you the rest of the tabs right here. Now, second tab, well, the third tab over here is family. This is where you can assign or you can add content about the family members of that person. It's not just the spouse, it's any family member. You can click on add new, and then you can either search contacts. So that's what I was trying to tell you. It's either a separate contact of yours, and you can just assign them over here, um, or you can simply add the name and information of that contact, right? Uh, So you can put in a first name, a last name, an email, a phone number, even a date of birth, and then you can also select the relationship from this list over here. Is it a spouse, parent, sibling, grandparent, child, grandchild, partner, in-law, fiance, cousin, step-parent, stepchild, godfather, even pet. So you can even add the information for the uh, pet of a person, right? So uh, their German Shepherd, right? So do you want it to add it? And you can also add this person. Well, in this case, this is a pet. But if it was a spouse, you can also add them as a separate contact to your list as well. Make sure that you have a different email address for them. So I can add that content here, and I can have a list of all the family members for this person. So next time that for instance I'm talking to this person on the phone, uh, I might come to this tab and see that, for instance, yes, they do have a puppy. Well, they do have a German Shepherd called Puppy, for instance. And you can even have the birth date of that person's pet as well, which is going to help you, you know, impress them even a little bit further if you remember their pet's birthday. A lot of pet owners do celebrate their pets' birthdays, and uh, you'd be right on the occasion. All right, so that would be family members. You can also add special occasions for every contact of yours. So these occasions could range, from different things. So, for example, you can add a birth date, which you don't need to because we already have a date of birth under profile. But there are other occasions. So, let's say anniversary. So, this is their um, home anniversary. All right, and then I can select the date. Um, right. Um, They bought their first home on this date, right? And I can save this occasion right here. You can add many other occasions as well, right? So whatever. Um, their wedding anniversary, so on and so forth. So you can have all the special occasions for that person also configured under these special occasions so that you would remember that, for example, when they got their first uh, their second home, when they got their first home, when there was their wedding anniversary. So all of that information is available to you, and you'd be able to refer to when you're communicating with those people. And you can also be very specific. And let's say, for instance, if this is a very important client of yours, it's an A plus, and is referring things to you. You can even send them a gift on their wedding anniversary, or send them a gift on their home anniversary, right? So this is how you can build relationships, and that's why I started out our conversation today emphasizing on the R part of our communication. All right. Um, I'm not going to get into accounting, but basically, you can keep track of your income and expenses related to that person using the accounting module right here. And then we have the nurturing control as well. So this is where the automation is housed. Um, you can configure the monthly newsletter to be sent to this person automatically. You can configure the occasional greetings, which is this list right here, to be sent to this person automatically. You can configure a market report by selecting a city and switching this on so that a monthly market report is sent to this person automatically. You can select buyer new listing alerts. So basically, you can set a set of criteria and switch this on so that new listings are automatically sent out to this person. And seller new listing alerts. So you can put in the address of the contact here so that the system will automatically send home valuations and neighborhood updates to that person. You can also switch this on so that daily listings are automatically pushed to that contact. So this is where all the the nurturing content, the automated nurturing content. All right. So, which is a full topic on its own. We have had discussions on lead nurturing. Look them up under uh, the Academy tab right here. Uh, and we're certainly going to have more about the nurturing as well. All right. So, once you're done with that, you're able to, well, you have now imported your contacts. You have categorized your contacts, and you're ready for a full-fledged, um, uh, fruitful relationship building. All right. One more quick thing, and I will wrap up today's discussion. There's more about this, in which we will continue next week. But I would like to show you. One more quick thing here. Um, all right. All right. Let's say I want that monthly newsletter to automatically go for these guys. I can either select and edit each one of them separately and go to that last nurturing tab and switch it on, or I can just go to bulk actions and then I can select newsletter automation on. So now the newsletter automation is on for these guys. For these guys, I want the newsletter automation to be off. I can set the newsletter automation to off. So for these guys, it's going to be off. So you can also set the greeting cards and the newsletter automation to on and off in bulk as well. The rest of them are actually individualized, so you would actually have to edit every individual one of them and provide the criteria based on their requirements. So that's a different subject. Now, the last thing that I want to touch here is this. What information do you want to be visible here when you go to Contact Manager? and how it's easier for you to manage using that information that you have. So let's say, for instance, you don't need to see the email address right here. Instead, you'd like to see another level of categorization here. So for that, you can go to Tools, you can go to Arrange Columns. So these are the columns that are visible on my um, Contact Manager right now. But these are all the other columns that I can include, right? So for example, let's say I don't like to have the email here. I don't really use it there. So what I'll do is that I'll click on the minus sign right here. So the email is removed. Instead, let's add something else. Let's add, uh, what do we have already? We already have the category. Let's say I want to add the uh, the address. All right. So now the email is gone. Instead, I have the address available for the ones that I want to see. So now this would be visible, even though I can reach this information by editing or viewing the profile of every contact as well. If you want to rearrange these columns, you can also go to Arrange Columns and you can rearrange them. So let's say I want the address to be right here at the end before tags. Save. All right. Now the address is right here, and you can sort based on address or etc. These are the ones that have addresses and the ones that don't have addresses. All right. So I'm going to stop here. It's already been uh, almost an hour, so I think it's enough for today. We are going to continue on this topic most probably next week as well. I'll let you know unless there's a more important topic that comes up. There might be one. But otherwise, this is the basics and what you need to know in order to be able to start off correctly and have a proper database available for you to set your communication strategies on. And obviously, you're going to build on this database and you're going to generate more leads and you're going to network further and you're going to door knock and you're going to have open houses. And all of those are going to stream into this database here. And the cleaner you keep this database and more up to date you keep this database, your CRM is going to be more successful. Perfect. So I don't see any further questions here on the system. If anything, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. Our email address is service@remarketer.ca, and we can provide. Um, well, basically, we'd be happy if you have any inquiries to be able to help, and obviously, any suggestions are always welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you again next week with a different topic. Goodbye.